Hi YouTube, it's Kathy and this is my weekly entertainment wrap-up for March 17th through 23rd. This week I read 3 books, I watched 1 show, and I listened to 1 book. That might seem a little bit light, but actually I'm filming this on Friday to go up on my usual day of Sunday because Friday to Sunday I am selling swords for Dark Age Creations at the Capital City Comic Con here in Victoria, so I will have no more time to read after filming this. I'm literally going right there. The first 2 books I read this week I read for the Buzzword Readathon, which we were trying to read books that had who, what, where, when, why, and how in them, and I managed to get all 6 of those words in 2 book titles. The first book is Who, What, Where, When, Die by Amanda M. Lee. This is about a journalist, and it wasn't very great. Essentially, we follow her around while she's doing journalist type things, and then there are 2 different men that she's interested in. One is an ex and one is somebody she meets new, and also somebody is making threats against her life. This protagonist was very judgmental, and there were a lot of things in this book that just had me going, why would you write that? In my opinion, it wasn't super well written, it wasn't really engaging, it definitely didn't want me to pick up the rest of the books. I think this is the first in a series, but it doesn't really leave off in a place that makes you want to read any more of it. So that one obviously covered who, what, where, and when. My second book covers why and how, and that's How I Killed Pluto and Why It Had It Coming by Mike Brown. I'm sure that by now we all know that Pluto is no longer considered a planet, and this was in part because of discoveries made by Mike Brown. Mike Brown is an astronomer who works out of Pasadena and also has traveled all over the world, either looking through different telescopes in the world or giving talks, that type of thing. And this book was a mixture of his professional and personal lives. I had never really looked very deeply into the whole Pluto thing, I just knew it was no longer considered a planet, and I'm okay with that. Like most people that grew up in the 80s, I mostly just wondered what the new mnemonic would be for remembering the planets. And upon reading this, the reason why Pluto isn't a planet makes absolute sense to me, and I would probably make the same call. So if that subject interests you at all, now you have a book to pick up. The final book I read this week was My Brother's Husband Volume 2. This is a manga that I absolutely adore. I read the first volume last year and have just been waiting to get my hands on the second volume. This is a duology, so the series is done, which works out really well for me because I'm doing sequelathon right now, and one of the prompts is to continue a series you started last year. Check. And then also to finish a series. Check. I have other sequels I'm going to get into next week, but now at least I feel like I'm not really behind. This series follows a man whose twin has died, and his twin's husband comes from Canada to Japan to visit. They've never actually met before Mike shows up on his doorstep, and this book looks at the homophobia in Japan, what people think of same-sex marriage. The man is also a single father to a daughter who absolutely adores Mike. And I was so glad I picked this up after Mike Brown's book because that one took a really long time to get through, not because it wasn't interesting, but because it was more science-y based, and with this I obviously tore right through it really quickly because it's a manga. On to what I watched this week. We finished the 17th season of Survivor, started the 18th season of Survivor, and stayed current on the 38th season of Survivor. The 38th season was actually a double header, so we got a little extra Survivor this week. And I am looking forward to next week because we have the merge, and also we'll find out what's going on with this Edge of Extinction thing. As for 17, I was very happy with who won. And as for 18, it's too early for me to even remember anybody. On to what I listened to this week. This was actually a reread for me, and that was Sadie by Courtney Summers. I originally read this in print and really wanted to read it as an audiobook because I know that the production quality is phenomenal. It's a full cast, there's sound effects in the recordings, and I just wanted that in my life. And through the magic of the internet, I was finally able to do that, so thank you very much, Leah. This is definitely worth listening to. I found the book incredibly engaging and fast-paced the first time around, and listening to it this time around I saw more little details, and yes, I just really enjoyed it. If you didn't see me talk about this the last time I read it, this book is about 2 girls. They're sisters, one of them was murdered and the other one is looking for revenge. This book goes back and forth between her perspective and a podcast that is following her a few months after she goes missing. Definite trigger warnings in this book for sexual assault and abuse of minors, so keep that in mind going in. But I found it incredibly powerful and I'm so glad that I got to listen to it. And that's it for this week because I need to go sell some swords. If you've read, watched, or listened to any of these, let me know about it down in the comments below. On the way down to the comments, if you hit that subscribe button, that would be very nice of you. You can like and share this as you see fit, and I will see you very soon. Bye!